AITA for abandoning a grieving friend after she tried to charge me rent? My friend is a recent widow. It's been a long time coming, but that hardly makes it easier. Her husband passed away at the end of February and she has been understandably distraught since. I have tried my best to support her through this, even though I can't possibly understand what she's going through. At the beginning of the March, she asked me if I'd stay over during the night because she couldn't stand sleeping alone in an empty house. I obliged and temporarily moved in once I was sure my husband was okay with it. She's not been taking care of herself, so I have been doing 100% of the household chores and taking care of her and all her responsibilities, as well as working full-time. Well, last week she sprung on me how much she'll be expecting in rent from here on out. She heavily implied I was taking advantage of her in her grief, trying to live in her house for free, and that she expects me to backpay her rent for the 2 months I'd already been there. I was extremely insulted by this and told her I'd transfer her the money she wanted, but I would be moving back to my own house, where I am also paying rent. I got my stuff and was out within a couple of hours. She has since asked me to come back, but I have refused. I told her I'd still do her shopping and I'll come over to help her with a few bits, but I'm not spending another night in that house. AITA? NTA. WTF taking advantage? You already have a place. What did you get out of it? NTA. And I would not pay her back rent. You can't create a rental agreement in your head and then expect someone to pay when it was not agreed up front. You were there to help her, and you have your own place, so it's not like you gained anything from staying there. And make sure she pays for anything you get for her. NTA? But you need to stand up for yourself more. You should not have paid her or offered to keep doing things for her. You should have explained why her request was inappropriate and left, leaving the ball in her court to continue your relationship with more appropriate boundaries. This reads like you're still learning how to not get completely walked over. NTA. You didn't want to pay rent, so you went back to your own house. I think she's a bit of an asshole, asking you to come and stay with her, and then asking you to pay money. I think you've set some healthy boundaries to avoid the situation occurring again. NTA. And I wouldn't do anything else for her for free, since she has already proven that she will twist scenarios to try to get money out of you. There is a chance that she was not left off financially well. If that's the case, offer to help her get into contact with someone who can help her figure out the finances. Either way, she's the AH for taking advantage of your kindness. NTA. That's crazy talk. There's no way it's even some miscommunication. Somehow, since she wanted you back after you refused and left. Are they in financial hardship, and this is their convoluted plan? Very strange when you have your own place and life to get back to. The support you were giving, and are still willing to offer, is more than enough, no matter what horrid things she's been through. Info. When you told her you'd pay her and then promptly leave, did she actually accept your money? I told her I'd still do her shopping and I'll come over to help her with a few bits. NTA. You don't even have to do that. You gave so much of time and energy for her and she decided to charge you for it. That's not a good friend. She heavily implied I was taking advantage of her in her grief. As it often is with abusive people, accusations or confessions, she is clearly using her grief to take complete advantage of you. The last time I checked, manipulating your close friends, treating them worse than doormats, and then gaslighting them while demanding they pay you a bunch of money, is not a step in the grieving process. You upended your entire life for this woman. You left behind your own home and your husband to care for her at her insistence. You give, and she takes, and now she wants to take your money, too. Your service to her should stop here. You've gone above and beyond what most people would do, and there is absolutely no need for you to do any more, including her shopping or any other favors, big or small. You would be wise to think long and hard about continuing a friendship with someone who treats you this way. NTA. In this situation you're NTA, but you're being a huge to yourself. But I'm genuinely confused, concerned for you based on your responses to others' comments. You are married. I get you said your husband has lost close people, but this has to be straining if not damaging this connection. You paid her, and put a sizable dent in your savings. Did you discuss this with your husband? Is that part of your dynamic? This friendship is costing you too much. You mentioned things like this keep happening to you, which makes it seem like all your value is in what you do for others and not who you are as a person. If you did nothing for others, would they still find value in you? If not, they aren't your friends. Of course there's give and take in all relationships, but the saying goes, givers have to have limits because takers never do. Info. If you're comfortable sharing your age decade, 60s, 70s, 40s, please do. For some reason I'm reading this as two women in their early 70s and thinking your friend's mental faculties could be playing a role here. Obviously if you're 29 and 30, that theory is gone. NTA. That would be like going to work and having the boss say, well, you're here 8 hours a day, so you should help pay all of the bills. Or being charged for house sitting for someone. I hope for both of your sakes that this was just the grief talking. NTA. She asked you to move in to help her. You already have your own house. You literally moved there to help her and take care of all the household jobs, yet she has the audacity to charge you rent and imply that you're taking advantage of her? She's the one taking advantage of your kindness. You shouldn't have transferred her the money. You're a better person than me because I would withdraw my help altogether. Grieving doesn't give her the right to be in awe. YTA. Not to her, but to yourself. Losing a spouse is not an excuse for treating you this way. And you paid her rent. And are still doing things for her? Stop letting her use you. Find better friends. Otherwise NTA. NTA at all. It sounds like she's taking advantage of you TBH and using her situation to get money from you. You have a husband who you live with and she thought you'd moved it because of any reason other than to help her and look after her? Jesus. Op. You're NTA. But you will be to yourself and your marriage if you continue to let this selfish asshole take advantage of you. Drop the rope. She is not your friend. She is a toxic user and you cannot save her from herself. This emotional vampire will continue to take advantage of you and will suck you dry physically, emotionally and financially. She has her hooks in deep if she thinks that she can charge you rent. And you agreed. Block her. Don't do anything else for her ever. NTA. As soon as she sprung this unpleasant surprise on you, you did the right thing by immediately returning home, but still offering moral support. If your friend is finding life on her own difficult, she needs to seek bereavement counseling. It shouldn't be on you to be her therapist. 2. Did she ask you to stay one night or did she ask you to stay 24/7? NTA. IMHO. You should bill her for the caregiver services you provided for those months and no way in heck I'd Keep enabling her the way you've been doing. Refer her for grief counseling and then back off. Okay. Maybe don't bill her, but it might actually be beneficial for her to have to start taking care of herself and get over the idea that you were her new tenant. Geesh. NTA, why would you give her money when she asked to stay? It's kind of obvious she's trying to take advantage of your kindness. I would frankly stop helping her. She's an adult, and if she was well enough to be a horrible person to you, she's well enough to take care of herself. Do you have a history of letting people walk all over you? This made me really sad to read. I think you should stand up for yourself more and not just roll over when someone asks you something crazy like paying rent when they asked you to move in.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.